In the last lecture, we finished the radical and exponential like this, and how can simplify if we have radical, exponent, anything. Now, inshallah, in this lecture, we will finish this chapter. We have polynomial, how can find the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of polynomials, how can find the factorization of polynomials, how can rationalize the denominators. This is the subject in this lecture, inshallah. Okay, now we will start. Any question before start the lecture? Any question? Okay, the polynomial. Polynomial means we have terms, this is the terms, okay, with coefficient as a real number, الcoefficient اللي هو العدد المضروب في x, and x to the power just positive or zero. We don't have in exponent, ما عندي في الأس negative or rational or decimal number or irrational number, must be positive integer or zero only. Okay, now if you have polynomial in one variable, for example x, so we have leading terms, leading coefficient, and degree of polynomial. What's the meaning leading term? Leading terms, this one has the largest exponent. x اللي لها أعلى أس هذا بنسميه الترم هذا الحد هذا بنسميه leading term. Leading coefficient, this is the leading coefficient an اللي هو العدد المضروب في الاكس، هذا leading coefficient. بينما degree of polynomial هذا degree of polynomial, this is the largest exponent. Okay, for example, look at this. We have this polynomial, not the first term, this is leading term, not okay. The leading term must be has the largest exponent, أعلى قيمة للأس. So the leading term equal what? Leading term equal negative 5x to the power 7. This is the leading term. But the coefficient only negative 5. The coefficient negative 5, this one. This is leading coefficient. Now, what's the degree of polynomial? The degree of polynomial, the largest exponent. This is 7. So, the degree of polynomial equal 7. Okay? But this is in one variable. If we have many variables in the term, how can find the degree of the term? The degree of the term is the sum of all exponent. A has exponent 7, B with exponent 4, C with exponent 1. This is 1, but can not return the 1. So we have the degree, this term with degree 12. 12, this is from 7 plus 4 plus 1. Okay? Like this. Okay? For example, if we have 3xy minus 2x square y to the power 3 plus 5z 5xyz. Which one leading term? Which one of this is polynomial with multivariable, separable variable. So we have leading term, we have the degree of polynomial, we have leading coefficient. So the second term, good. Leading term, not this is the first term. Maybe in the second, in the last. Okay, this is depend on what? Depend on the largest exponent, or largest sorry, the degree of terms. Okay, يعني هذا الترم كم درجته؟ شو الديجري لهذا الترم؟ 2. good. The degree of the second term 5. good. For the third term 3. So which one largest degree? This one. So this is the leading, this one leading term. Okay, and the coefficient, leading coefficient, coefficient equal minus 2, negative 2. The degree of polynomial, equal 5. This is the largest degree of terms. Okay, now how can add or subtract two polynomials or three or any polynomials? Look at this note. The number we can add or subtract with number. Okay, x, add and subtract with x. X square, add, subtract with x square. We cannot add and subtract x square with x, or x to the power 3 with x, or with x to the power 2. Okay, each type you can sum each type together. Okay, now, so if we have the same exponent, we can add or subtract two terms. Otherwise, still two terms as it is. يعني مثل ما هم بنخليهم غير هيك. لاحظ هنا حطينا 7x square negative plus 6. This we have negative, so we must multiply each term in the brackets by negative. So we have negative, positive with negative, so we have here negative. Okay, and negative with negative, look at this, positive 8x. Now we have 2x square, we have 7 with negative 2. We have 7x square and negative 2x square. So we can add this term together. We have x square, but the number subtract 7 minus 2, so we have 5. Look at this, 5x square. Now we have also two terms with x, negative 3, coefficient negative 3 with coefficient plus 8. So we have also 5x, because negative 3 plus 8 equal 5. And only number 6, we don't have any number other than 6. So put it the 6 as it is. Okay. In multiplication, we can multiply x with x squared, x with x, x with x to the power 3. We can, because as the last lecture, we can multiply x with x squared. How can multiply x with x squared? We can find it by add the exponent together. So we have 1 plus 2, the new exponent equal 3, x to the power 3. Okay? Now, look at this. I put it in new slide. This is already, you have the solution. A new question in multiplication. Find number 1, multiply 3x squared minus x with 2x minus 4. Okay. The solution equal, we must multiply each term in the first bracket with the second bracket. Each term in the first bracket multiply with all terms in the second bracket. So we have, look at this, 3 multiply 2, we have 6, x squared multiply x, x to the power 3. 3 multiply negative 4, negative 12 x squared. Now we have negative x multiply 2x, negative 2x squared. Negative x multiplied by negative 4, we have positive 4x. Okay. Now we can make more simplified. Yes. How can x to the power 3? We don't have x to the power 3. So put it x to the power 6x to the power 3 and the final result. After that, we have negative 12, negative 2, because we have 2 terms in x squared. We have negative 14 x squared, and we have 1 term in x, so this is the final and simplified result. Okay, if we have radical, for example, number 2, like this, 2 radical x plus 3 and 5 radical x minus 6, like this. This is equal to radical multiply 5 radical. Look at this. Also, we can multiply radical x with radical x, because radical x, x to the power half, x to the power half, and some half plus half, we have x. So we have to multiply 5, 10, and x to the power 1, because radical x multiplied by radical x, this is equal what? X. Okay, now multiply 2 radical x, multiply with negative 6, negative 12 radical x. Now the second term, 3 multiplied by 5 equal plus 15 radical x, and 3 multiply negative 6, this is negative 18. So we have 10x and plus 3 radical minus 18. This is the final solution. Okay, any question? Now, we have special cases in a product. For example, sometimes we multiply two brackets, the same first term, the second first term, but we have positive, negative. Just only the difference, we have positive, addition or subtraction. Here we can doing directly the first square minus second square. For example, in this special case, look at this. If we have 5x minus 3y multiplied by 5x plus 3y. This is the same term, 5x, 5x, 3y, 3y, but one negative and another positive. Don't worry if the first negative and the second positive, or addition, subtraction, addition, don't worry. This is the same result. So this is the result equal what? This equal the first square always minus 3y square, and the final solution equal 25x square minus 9y square. Okay. The second one, in special cases, we have perfect square, a plus b all square. How can simplify the perfect square? Simplify the perfect square means remove the brackets. So this is the first square plus, if we have a plus, or negative if we have negative. Look at this. This is the only difference between addition, subtraction. Okay. And 2, this is in law, هذه الاثنين في القانون. 2 multiply the first multiply the second, يعني 2ab plus b square. نعم، ممكن نحكي هيك يا رو. خلينا نشوف على الثاني هذا. If we have 2x minus 4 all square, like this, how can simplify or find this product? This equal the first square to x square minus, because we have negative, 2, this is from the law, the first to x multiplied by the second 4 plus the second square 4 square. So we have 4x square minus 16x plus 16, like this. Okay, and we have some example. For example, like this, if we have just only the difference, positive, negative, addition, subtraction. So the first square 4x square minus the second square 49. Look at this also. The first square 9x square and 2 multiplied by 3x multiplied by 2. So we have 2 multiply 3 multiply 2, 12x, and the last square, this is the 4. Okay. Also look at this. This is the first square, the square of 5 is 25, the square of radical x, and 2 multiplied by 5 radical x multiplied by 3, 2 multiplied 5, 10 multiplied 3, 30, 30 radical, this equal 30 radical, and the second square equal 9. Okay, any question؟ أروى هذا الكلمة أنا ما أحبها. I don't understand. What's the special product? What's the line? What's the example you don't understand? I don't understand. Just أروى. Okay, I put it the another example. Okay, wait. Example, find number 1. For example, if we have 3 radical x minus 5 square, okay, like this. This equal, look at the laws. شوف القانون. A minus B square, this equal the first square الأول من ربع minus 2AB 2 مضروب بالأول في الثاني plus الثاني من ربع. الآن هذا قصدنا في الأول وهذا الثاني. 3 radical x, this is the first term, the second term 5. So 3 radical x all square ربعنا الأول minus 2 هذا من القانون 2 the first term 3 radical x the second term اللي هو 5 plus نربع الثاني اللي هو 5 square. اوكي الآن what's the value of 3 square 3 square 9 radical x square x هذا أخذناه المحاضرة الماضية minus 2 multiply 3 6 multiply 5 so we have 30 radical x فقط ضربنا 2 و 3 و 5 طلع 30 وحطينا radical x بعدين 5 square equal 25. Okay, this is another example. Now, anyone have a question?
معلش دكتور ممكن تعيدها مرة ثانية؟
Now we have the factorization. How can, before study the fraction and how can divide two polynomial, we must learn to factorization the polynomial. The factorization in general, factoring, if you have many terms, for example, the first term plus the second plus the third term, we must put it as product 2, 3 brackets. 1, 2, 3 brackets. Okay. For example, يعني إذا كان عندنا على سبيل المثال x square minus 5x. If we need to find the factoring of this polynomial, we take as common factor, so we have x and multiply x minus 5. So put it the x square minus 5x, the factoring of this polynomial equal x multiply x minus 5. هذا معنى الفاكتورينج. فاكتورينج انه احول البولينوميال من terms لحاصل ضرب brackets. اوكي، هذه الفكرة العامة. شو معنى فاكتورينج؟ what's the meaning the factoring of polynomial? So convert the polynomial from terms to multiply brackets. اوكي، هذه النظرة العامة. خلينا نشوف how can find the factoring of polynomial. The first thing، أول شيء تفكر فيه take the greatest common factor. أول شيء تفكر فيه دائما greatest common factor اللي هو أخذ العامل المشترك. تمام؟ كيف take the greatest common factor? If we have, for example, sometimes we can find a number for 2x squared plus 6. Here we can put it this polynomial as 2 multiplied by x squared plus 3. Why? We have here 2 and from 6 equal 2 multiply 3, so we can take 2. So greatest common factor here the number 2 and the rest المتبقي x squared and 3. Okay, sometimes we can take as variable common factor. For example, 3x squared or to the power 3 plus 5x squared minus x. So here we cannot take a number as common factor because we have 3, 5 and minus 1. We don't have any common factor between them. But we have x to the power 3, x squared, x. So the greatest common factor here, what the value of x? Is x or x squared or x to the power 3? x. إذن الكومن فاكتور هو least exponent x to the power least exponent. ما بناخذ الجريتست المشترك عادة لأنه هنا في 3x هنا 2x لكن هنا x، فشو المشترك؟ فقط x واحدة. ما عندي مشترك 2x في كل تيرم، عندي بضمن لك انه في x في كل تيرم. اما x 2x او عفوا x سكوير لا، اخر واحد في x واحدة ما بنقدر ناخذ x سكوير. So we have x, so we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 1. If you take the x as common factor, so still 1 the coefficient. Okay, Rawan, the coefficient of x 1, negative 1, so put it negative 1. Sometimes we can take the number with variable. Look at this. We have, for example, 4x to the power 4 minus 6x squared. So here the common factor equal what? From 4 and negative 6 we have 2, so we can take 2, and from x to the power 4 and x to the power 2 least exponent x squared. So look at this, 4 divide 2 we have 2, x to the power 4 we take x squared, so still x squared minus negative 6 over 2 negative 3, and we already take as common factor x squared, so we don't have x in the second term. Okay, now 2x squared. If you need to check this is correct or incorrect, you can multiply. If you multiply 2x to the power 2 with 2x to the power 2, so you have 4x to the power 4, and multiply 2x squared with negative 3, we have negative 6x squared. So you must go to the greatest common factor if we need to factorization. This is the first process. If we have greatest common factor, you must doing the first step as the first step. The second step, if you have 4 terms, we can put it each 2 terms together and find the also factor for each term together. Okay, or sometimes in special cases we take 3 with 1, 3 terms with 1 terms. Okay, so if you have 4 terms, we can make as a group 2 terms and another group 2 terms, or 3 terms with 1 terms. Okay, we have example for this 2 term after finish the explain the factor. Okay, in 3 term we have perfect square. If we have the first square, the last square, and the middle terms or the second term, 2 multiply a f b, this is the perfect square. So directly put it a plus b, or if we have negative, a minus b all square. Just a quick example like this. If we have x squared plus خلينا نقول 6x plus 9, this equal, look at this, if we have the radical of x squared, radical x squared equal what? Equal x. The radical of 9 equal what? 3. So multiply by, this is the radical x squared equal x. The radical of 9 equal 3. So multiply 2 with x with 3. If this in the second terms, 2 multiply x multiply 3, 6x. So we have the perfect square. This equal x, this one, plus this one, 3, all square. Like this. Otherwise,
دكتور
we must try and error. Okay, try and error and put it the 2 brackets, x here and x here. We can find the 2 numbers, the product and addition of the coefficient of x and the number. If we have 2 terms, we have one of the 3 difference square اللي هو فرق مربعين. If we have a square minus b square, so put it a plus b, a negative b. Example about this, x square minus 25, this equal direct x minus 5 and x plus 5, like this. This is the difference square. And we have addition or difference the cubes. For example, if we have x to the power 3 minus 8, this equal x minus 2, a plus b or a minus b, You take the cube roots of a to the power 3 and the cube roots of b to the power 3, like this. So the cube roots of x to the power 3x and 4, 8 equal what? 2. So put it x minus 2. The second bracket, the first square, x square, and plus, look at this, plus 2 multiply x, 2 multiply x, this is mean a multiply b, a here, b, 2x plus 4, this is 2 square, like this. Look at this examples. The first one, if we have four terms. Firstly, before that, we must find the greatest common the greatest common factor if exist. دائما إذا موجود ناخذه. We cannot take a from all terms. We cannot take x from all terms. We cannot take c from all terms. ما في عندي a موجودة بالجميع ولا x ولا c. ما بنقدر ناخذهم. إذا فقط هنا ناخذ number. We have 30, 150, 20, 100. So the 10, this is as common factor. Now, 30 over 10, so we have 3ax, 150 over 10, 15, 22, 110. Look at this. We can divide this as two groups. The first group like this, and the second like this. From the first group, we can take the common factor. Yes, we have 3 and a. Cannot take x because the second term we don't have x, so we can take a, we can take 3 as common factor, so 3a. Now 3a, we already take it as common factor. We have x and 5 because 15 divided 3, 5. From the second group, we can take 2 and c. 2 and c. 2c take as common factor, we have this x, and from 10c, we already take it c, 10 over 2 equal 5. Look at this. We have here x plus 5, and we have in the second term x plus 5. So we can take x plus 5 as common factor. So this is 10 from the first common factor. The second common factor, we have x plus 5. If we remove x plus 5 from the first group, we only have 3a, like this, and 2c. So this is the process to factoring the 4 terms. Look at this. If we have 3 terms, look at the radical of the first. Radical of 9x squared, this is 3. Radical, this is 3x. And radical of 1, this is equal 1. Okay, 1 multiply 3x multiply by 2, we have 6x. So this is the perfect square. The first term 3x, the second term 1, and this is the perfect square. Look at this to doing the try and error. We have 2x squared plus 11x plus 5. We cannot take common factor anything. We cannot take the number, we cannot take the variable. In this case, we need to try, we distribute 2x in each brackets and x in the second brackets. Why? Because multiply 2x with x, this is 2x squared. This is the 2x squared. Now, we need to search two numbers multiplied together equal 5. Equal what? 5. We have 5 and 1. Or negative 5 with negative 1. So, we try now. Negative, we cannot put negative because we have positive here. If we have negative here, so put it, we can have the negative numbers, okay? But if put it, for example, negative 5, negative 1, and some doing the multiplication, we have negative 11 or negative 7, like this, okay? Now, we need to try. If put it here 5 and here 1. Try now. 2x multiply x, we have 2x squared. 2x multiply 1, we have 2x. 5 multiply x, 5x. 5 multiply 1, 5. So we have 2x squared plus 7 plus 5. So this is incorrect. Now, we change the position 5 and 1. Like this. Now, multiply 2x multiply x, 2x squared. Multiply 2x with 5, 10x. Multiply 1 with x, x. Multiply 1 with 5, 5. So we have 2x squared plus 11 plus 5. So this is the factoring of this polynomial. Now, difference square. Look at this. We have even exponent. لما يكون عندنا even exponents, this is we can doing the difference square. So distribute x and y square, positive, negative, like this. X, look at this. If you multiply x with x, you have x squared. If you multiply y squared with y squared, you have y to the power 4. Okay? Now, the sum of cubes, like this. Take the cube radical of 8x to the power 3. What's the cube radical of 8z to the power 3? This equal cube radical of 8 equal 2. And z to the power 3, remove with the cube to the power radical to the index 3, so you have 2z. Okay? Now, 2x, put it as x, no problem. This is x. So we have 2x. The second one, the cube roots of 27 equal 3. So put it 3. Now, the first square, 2x squared equal 2x to the power 2 equal 4x squared. And multiply 2x with 3, we have 6x. and the second square equal 9, like this. Okay, here take this is cube roots of 1 to 5, 125, y to the power 6. This equal 125 in the radical with index 3, this is equal 5. And y 6 over 3, this is the power of y over 3. So we have 5 y to the power 2. This is the first, 5y squared. The second, cube radical of 1 direct equal 1. The square of 5y squared, 25y to the power 4, square of 1, 1, and multiply this together. Multiply 5 with 1, 5y squared with 1, 5y squared, like this. Any question? Any question? طيب
بس ما تراجع في البيت.
نشوف هذا ال 4 terms. We have 3 terms. If we put it like this here, we can take the y as common factor from the first group. The second group, we have 25 minus z squared. We don't have any greatest common factor. So, sometimes if we have 4 terms, we must put it 3 in the group and 1 in another group. Look at this. If we have take the radical here and take the radical, we have y and 5. Y and 5 and multiply by 2. So we have 10y. This is in the second term. So this is the perfect square. So we have y plus 5 square with what? Y plus 5 square with what? With z square. If we have a bracket square minus z square or bracket square, this is different square. This is put it as the first y plus 5 plus the second z and y plus 5 minus z, like this. And we can remove the brackets of y plus 5. So we have y plus 5z, y plus 5 negative z or minus z. Okay? Sometimes if we have negative, look at negative 7, negative 8, negative 6. So put it also take the least exponent. What's the least exponent? Z to the power negative 8. So if we take z to the power negative 8, we have 7, put it 7, and 6, put it 6. But what the value of exponent of z? The value of z equal, you take negative 11. So we put it z to the power 1. Why? Because 1 plus 8 plus negative 8 equal negative 7. Okay? Look at this. Negative 6. Negative 6. We need to take negative 8. So put it 2. Because 2 with negative 8 equal what? Equal negative 7. Negative 6. Sorry. عادة هنا نطرح دائما نطرح من اللي بناخذه. يعني احنا لما كنا ناخذ مثلا x to the power 3 plus x to the power 2 plus x ناخذ x as common factor نطرح اللي هو 1 اخذناه 1 3 هذا 3 minus 1 اللي اخذناه شو بيطلع معي x سكوير. نفس الشيء 2 minus 1 شو بضل عندي x. وعندي هنا طبعا 1 minus 1 يعني x to the power 0 يعني 1 بهذا الشكل. فلو أخذنا نيجاتيف مثلا زي هنا أو مثال آخر x to the power negative 5 plus x to the power negative 3 plus x to the power negative 1. بدنا ناخذ common factor. We must take common factor negative 5 اللي هو least. خلينا نحكي exponent أقل أس. Now negative 5 minus negative 5 x to the power 0 وبالتالي 1. negative 3 minus negative 5 يعني لاحظ negative 3 minus negative 5 negative بتصير positive يعني minus 3 plus 5 شو بتصير؟ بدنا x square. وهنا نفس الشيء negative 1 minus 5 this equal 4. So we have x to the power 4 like this. Okay? Any question? Rational expression means we have polynomial divide another polynomial. So rational expression أو العبارة النسبية يكون عندي polynomial over polynomial. أهم شيء الدوميناتورز not equal 0. So if we have for example x plus 7 this is must be not equal 0. After transfer the 7 from left to right, so we have x must be not equal negative 7. Okay, this called restriction. هذا الشرط الاكسبريشن هذه شرطها او القيود تاعتها انه ما يكون المقام 0. متى بكون المقام 0؟ عند النيجاتيف 7. إذن x must be not equal negative 7. Now, if we have any value in numerators and denominators are equal and multiply in numerators and denominators, we can remove it. Okay, for example, if we have x multiplied by x plus 1 and we have 2x, look at this. We have x here, we have x and we have x. We can remove x with x because we have multiply. So the result x plus 1 over 2, the final result. Sometimes some student remove x with x in addition. And for example, if we have 2 plus x and 3 plus x, remove x with x. This is a big mistake. ما بنحذف x مع x في حالة الاديشن والسبتراكشن. Must be multiplication. Okay, must be multiplication. So this is equal to over 3. هذا big mistake. Now, if we have like this example, we have expression polynomial over polynomial, and we need to simplify. Simplify means find the factorization of numerators and denominators. لازم. Now, we have 2x minus 9x minus 5, 2x squared. Now, we can distribute 2x squared as 2x with x in two brackets. And we have negative 5. Negative 5 must be minus 1 multiply 5 or 1 multiply negative 5. Okay, this is the negative 5. ما بيجي إلا إذا واحد ضرب سالب 5 أو سالب 1 ضرب موجب 5 بهذا الشكل. إذن try now 1 positive 1 negative 5. This is correct. Look at this, 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. If some student put 2x minus 5 with with x plus 1, for example, look at this, 2x multiply x, 2x squared, 2x multiply 1, 2x, minus 5x minus 5. So we have 2x squared minus 3x, not minus 9. So remove this one and try another one. For example, we have plus 1 negative 5. Look at this. We have 2x squared 10 negative 10x and positive 1x minus 5. So we have here 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. So this is correct. In the denominators, we can take 6 as common factor and x to the power 1. X to the power 1, this is least exponent. So we can take 6x as greatest common factor. Now, if we take 6x, the rest equal x. From the second terms, we already take it x. 30 divided by 6 equal 5. Okay. Now, look at these two brackets. X minus 5. X minus 5, we can remove it. And the final result equal 2x plus 1 over 6x. Now, what's the restriction of this polynomial? The restriction of this polynomial, we can compute it from the original. Okay, so we have 6x squared minus 30x. This equal 6x, x minus 5. So 6x must be not equal 0 and x minus 5 must be not equal 0. by divide by 6, so x not equal 0. This is the first restriction. The second, move negative 5 equal positive 5. So must be the value of x not equal 0 and not equal 5. Any question? In addition, multiplication and division. Example 2. Okay, I put it another example. This is depend on what? Depend on the factorization. If you find the factorization of numerator and denominator, so this is you can remove the same brackets and you can find the final result. For example, if we have here x squared minus 25 and we have x squared خلينا نحكي 10 and 7 like this. Okay, now we need to simplify this one. First we need to find the factorization. الحل يعني simplify. This equal, what's the factoring of the numerators? شو الفاكتور للنومينيتور؟ factoring لما نحلله شو بكون؟ هو حاصل ضرب ايش هذا؟ النومينيتور البسط. يا محمد شبلي البسط كيف نحله؟ هل صحيح اللي كتبته greatest common factor؟ لا، هذا مش greatest common factor. ما greatest common factor ما نقدر لا نطلعه لا من فوق ولا من تحت. يعني ما في عندي عدد اطلعه، ما في عندي x اطلعها. We cannot doing greatest common factor. طيب إذا عندي x و x وعندي 5 و 2. زميلتكم شو كتبت روان؟ plus 2 و negative 5. هل هذا صحيح؟ يعني لاحظوا لو ضربنا الاثنين هذول مع بعض شو بعطونا؟ نيجاتيف 10. طب أنا عندي بوزيتيف 10 صح؟ مظبوط يا محمد شبلي. إذا حطيت واحد بوزيتيف وواحد نيجاتيف ما بزبط. عبد الله أوكي، أميرة أوكي. إذا بوزيتيف صح؟ هيك أنتوا بتحكوا يا أميرة. طيب بوزيتيف 5 وبوزيتيف 2 بيعطينا 10. لما نضربهم مع بعض بيعطينا 10 هذه. طب لما أجمعهم هذا نيجاتيف 7. إذا لازم نيجاتيف. أوكي، x minus 5 x minus 2 and the dominators المقام كيف نحلله؟ x square minus 25. How can find the factoring of dominator؟ طيب يلا أعطينا شو النتيجة يا فاطمة؟ good. X minus 5 or x plus 5. Here we have two brackets in numerator and denominator as the same and multiply with another bracket. لاحظ الشروط عندي نفس القوس مكرر والقوس اللي فوق مضروب والقوس اللي تحت مضروب باللي جنبه. إذن x minus 5 with x minus 5. And we have the final result x minus 2 over x plus 5. This is the final result. What's the restriction here? Restriction x not equal what? Not equal negative 5 and not equal also 5. لأنه احنا من هنا بنحط x square minus 25 must be not equal what? 0. صح ولا لا؟ لو هذا ننقل على الطرف الثاني إذا x square equal 25 by take the radical not equal sorry. So we have x not equal positive negative لل 5 اللي هو جذر ال 25. Okay. Any question? If we have multiplication in a fraction, just multiply the numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. Multiply that together with denominator together. Okay? Must be all denominators not equal 0. The first and the second denominators. Okay? In division, the first fraction put it as it is, a over b, but the division convert to multiplication product, and we have the inverse product or multiplication in the second, c over d, put it as d over c. So we need to swap between numerators and denominators. This idea to convert the division to product من حالة قسمة لحالة ضرب. الأول بنخليه مثل ما هو، أما الثاني بنقلب البسط مقام والمقام بسط. لاحظ هنا في عندي division، إذا الأول بخليه مثل ما هو صح، والثاني بقلبه. تمام. إذا الأول اللي هو 12 minus 3x over 2x plus 1 multiply by another fraction and convert the division to product. So put the denominators as numerators plus 15x plus 7 and numerators as denominators like this. الآن بدنا نعمل factorization للجميع، يعني نأخذ 3 as common factor, so we have 4 minus x, 2x plus 1. The second one we have 2x put it and x plus 7, so we have 1 and 7, put it plus 1 and 7. Okay, if for example put it 7 here and 1, this is not correct. Why? After multiply 2x with 1 we have 2x and 7 with x we have 7x, so the addition equal 9x, not equal 15, not equal 15. Okay, so the correct equal 1 and here plus 7. In denominators also we have x squared, x with x, negative 5, so we have negative 4 with positive 1 or negative 1 with positive 4. So we have, because we have negative, so the big number negative, minus 4 plus 1, like this. Now we have 2x plus 1, we can remove with 2x plus 1. And we have 4 minus x with x minus 4. If we remove a minus b with b minus a, what's the value? What's the value of the value after negative 1? Good. So remove 4 minus x minus 4 with 4 minus x and replace with negative 1. Now, from the first fraction, we have negative 3. And the second fraction, we have x plus 7. And the denominators equal x plus 1. We have only 3 minus 1 and x plus 7 and x plus 1. This is the final result. Okay. In addition, general law of addition, if we have a over b plus c over d plus or minus, this equal, multiply denominator together, b multiply d, and ad plus or minus bc, like this. This is the general. And if we have the same denominators, if we can convert the fractions to the same denominators, this is better. Because if we have the same denominator, just add the numerators together, a plus c. Or subtract numerator together, a minus c, like this. Look at this here. We have x over x minus 1 plus 2 over x. This equal, multiply denominators together. So multiply x with x minus 1 and the cross product, doing the cross product. Cross product. X multiply x, this equal x square and plus, if we have a plus plus, 2 multiply x minus 1. Don't remove x minus 1 with x minus 1. This is a big mistake. Why? Because we have addition here. Now, we can put it as x square and multiply 2 with x, 2x, multiply 2 with negative 1, negative 2, over x multiply x minus 1, like this. This is the final result directly. Okay. So we can apply this one directly. No need to put it, the denominators are the same. Okay. At the same value, at the same expression. Any question? ممكن نضرب اللي تحت. مين اللي سأل؟ يا عبد الله ولا تزعل ها. x square minus x. تمام هيك يا عبد الله؟ أي سؤال؟ Any question؟ طيب بعض الأحيان في عندي for example A over B C over D like this fraction over fraction هي نفسها نفس A over B divide C over D نفسها لكن شكل آخر. Here we can multiply the we can multiply A with D and B with C. So the result AD over BC direct. Okay. Now look at this. If we have fraction added to another fraction over a fraction, firstly put it the expression of fraction expression as fraction over a fraction like this. Put it A over B over C على هذا الفورم. إذا عندك 1 over x plus half over 1 plus 2 over x خلينا نحطه كسر على كسر. إذا شو بصير x multiply 2 we have 2x and 1 multiply 2 plus 1 multiply x جمعت الكسرين هذول زي ما تعلمنا قبل شوي. أيضا هنا في عندي over 1 so fraction plus fraction put it as one fraction 1 multiply x plus 2 like this. Okay, now we can multiply 2x with x so we have 2 plus x multiplied by x and 2x multiply x plus 2. Look at this 2x plus a 2 plus x و x plus 2 this is the same a زائد b و b زائد a نفسها and x with x ممكن نحذف x مع x. إذا النومينيتورز 1 المتبقي 1 حتى لو نحذف كل شيء حتى لو يعني remove all expression we have 1 over what over 2. Okay. هذه الطريقة الأخرى يعني كل الطرق نفس الشيء. آخر موضوع في درس اليوم اللي هو rationalize the dominator. rationalize the dominators إنه نلغي المقام نلغي الجذر عفوا في المقام remove the radical. okay in dominators. أول شيء في عندي عدة حالات هنا ممكن يكون 1 radical ممكن يكون cube radical ممكن يكون 2 addition 2 radical and so on. اوكي خلينا احط سلايد جديد ونشوف هذه الحالات. If we have for example wait 2 over radical 3x. Rationalize هنا we need to multiply with conjugate. What's the meaning conjugate? Conjugate if we have square roots اللي هو الجذر التربيعي فنضرب المقام في نفسه 3x والبسط في 3x with radical. So the result equal radical multiply the same radical square roots multiply with the same square roots equal 3x. صح ولا لا؟ بنشيل الراديكال. ليه؟ لأنه 3x قوة نص multiply by 3x to the power half نفسه. إذا نجمع الأسس شو بصير 3x equal to the power 1. Okay. Now in the numerators we have 2 radical 3x. إذا أنا هنا عملت rationalize of the fraction. rationalize يعني لغيت الجذر اللي في المقام. تمام. عملية بسيطة سهلة. أحيانا ما بكون square root فعليا سهل لكن ممكن يكون for example يعني negative 3 over خلينا نقول 5 x square في y with cubed roots. هنا فعليا ما هو الكونجيجيت المرافق؟ شو الكونجيجيت هنا؟ راح نضرب المقام والبسط في نفسه ولا بيختلف؟ نشوف آراءكم. يعني هل نضربه في 5x سكوير في y بهذا الشكل؟ هل بروح الجذر؟ أكيد. يلا خلينا نضرب ونشوف. خلينا نضرب يعني 5x سكوير في y 1 over 3 multiply 5x سكوير y 1 over 3 1 over 3 1 over 3 يعني بيصير 2 over 3 ما راح. إذا شو نسوي؟ نسوي التالي. صحيح هو نفس درجة الجذر نخليها cube roots but we have here 5 to the power 1 must be here to the power 2. Why? The sum of exponent must be equal what? 3. Must be equal 3. إذا x square شو لازم تكون ال x to the power 1 وال y to the power 2. ليه؟ لأنه أنا عندي كان هنا 5 to the power 1 هنا شو لازم تكون 5 to the power 2 عشان يكون مجموع الإكسبوننت 3. أنا كان عندي هنا الإكس سكوير هنا شو لازم تكون x to the power 1 الباور لو نجمعهم 3 الواي to the power 1 وهنا إذا شو لازم تكون to the power 2 the summation of exponent to the power 3. أوكي واضح الفكرة؟ إذن multiply denominator and numerators with this coefficient. لما نيجي نضربهم شو بصير عندي؟ بصير عندي to the power 3 ضربنا ال 5 مع ال 5 أصبحت 5 to the power 3 وال x مع ال x x to the power 3 وال y مع ال y y to the power 3 كله to the power 3 بروح مع ال 3 هذا. إذا شو بيطلع النتيجة 5xy. Okay. Any question? So the result here 5xy in denominators minus 3 cube roots of 5 square xy square. Any question? أي سؤال؟ طب لو تكتبوا لي يس ولا نو أشوف الشات عندي مجاوب ولا لا. استنوا، عادة بفتح جهازين عشان الشات أقدر أشوفكم فيه. طيب ما وصلنا شيء، إذا في مشكلة لحظة. طيب خليني أشوف أنتقل هنا بس أشوف إذا شو استفساراتكم. طيب عندي بطيء، أنا مش مميز إنه أنتوا سامعيني ولا لا.
الكل سامع يا دكتور وكلهم يقولوا
سامعين
لا.
يا دكتور.
أوكي ممتاز، لأنه الشات عندي وقف ما أعرف.
لا ما في أحد، بس في واحد سأل متى الكويز بس ما في أحد كتب شيء.
طيب خلينا العادي نكمل بعدين نفتح باب الأسئلة اللي خارج المادة. أوكي شكرا.
يعطيك العافية.
طيب نظرا لانقطاع الشات بإمكانكم تستخدموا المايك بس رجاء يعني بأقصى يعني درجات شو اسمه، خلينا نحكي الأشياء المهمة. طيب نيجي هنا، إذا هذا في حالة سكوير روتس والكيوب روتس، فنكون حذرين في الكيوب روتس. يعني if we have must be the exponent of x, the sum of exponent of x equal 3, the sum of y equal 3, the sum of the numbers equal 3, and so on. Sometimes we have two radical. For example, we have x over radical x plus 5 مثلا بهذا الشكل. بدنا نشيل الراديكال in denominators. What's the conjugate? Here the conjugate equal the same root radical x and 5 but in the different sign. إذا كان بيناتهم بلس بنحط نيجاتيف، إذا كان نيجاتيف بنحط بلس، وهكذا. وأيضا الدومينيتورز نضربه بنفس القيمة. لذا اخترنا هذا الشيء لأنه راح نحوله لديفرنت سكوير، يعني أي value، يعني مثلا radical A plus radical B الكونجيجيت تبعها radical A minus radical B. ليه؟ بهذه الحالة إذا ضربناها بهذا الشكل remove the radical, so we have A radical A square minus radical B square, and this is equal A minus B direct. إذن في هذه الحالة in this case we can convert to different square and equal a minus b directly inside the radical minus inside the radical. okay. أي بمعنى تربيع الأول ناقص تربيع الثاني. فهنا النتيجة راح تكون the radical x square minus 5 square and x multiplied by radical x minus 5. So the final result equal x minus 25. Because the radical x with this square x, 5 square 25, and we have x multiplied by radical x minus 5. Also sometimes we have two radical. For example, 2x over radical x minus radical 2. For example, what's the conjugate of this one? The conjugate, this is the same denominators, radical x and radical 2, but opposite sign. We have negative, so put it in conjugate positive between them. And here radical x plus radical 2 must be multiplied the numerator and denominators. كثير من الطلاب بضربوا فقط المقام وهذا خطأ كبير. احنا بنضرب البسط والمقام عشان ما نغير قيمة الفراكشن. So the value here equal the first square and radical x square minus radical 2 square, and we have 2x multiplied by radical x plus radical 2. The final result equal x minus 2, and in numerators 2x multiply radical x plus radical 2. This is the rationalize, okay, the denominators. Look at this. If we have numbers or values or anything, two radical, the conjugate the same radical, but we have positive. Here negative or subtract, we put the addition. Okay. Any question? This is the last subject in this chapter, and inshallah in this lecture. Any question?